Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. I've got to clean my conservatory roof, it's got moss on it. Thought I'd do a video today. Not done a video for about a month, I think, something like that. Not had the drive or the inclination to do a video. As some of you may know, my dad, Pops Simon, suffered with Alzheimer's and vascular dementia by the looks of it. For 3.5 years, and unfortunately passed away on the 20th of September at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Lost the battle, but that's why I'm going to do the videos, because I want to talk about that, share that with you, because it's important. It's important for me to share it, at least, as part of a grieving process, because I'm grieving. Oh man, it's crap. Dementia is shocking. Nothing nice about it. And yeah, just tell you his final weeks and the hell we went through with him and what have you. So thought I'd do that. So in between that, I've just turned the shed on. First time that shed's been turned on in 4 weeks, and fired everything up. Got my luber out, which is currently working. There she is, luber. It's been cutting the grass for me because I can't be asked to do it because I'm just not in the mood. So luber's now going around the outside. It's done all the up and down bits. It's now going around the outside perimeter for 3 laps, getting closer and closer to the edge. Fantastic bit of kit. If you want a robotic lawnmower, I can highly recommend the luber, because I've not had to use customer services once. You get your connection problems, you get your network problems, the same as you get with like a printer indoors. Same issue, you know. Turn it off, turn it on again, it hooks up, away you go. But yeah, get yourself a luber, they're brilliant. I've got the new luber in that shed there. Brand new luber, which I've not even got out yet. I must get on that next year. So yeah, that's that. Where's the dog? Pip, come on, Pippi. Good girl, come on, Pip. Yeah, yeah. Where is she? Here she comes. Come on, big ears. Good girl. Come on. Here's a good girl. In you come. Take your time, Pip. There's no rush. Pip, you're getting porky. You're getting porky because you're eating too much. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, yeah, let's go indoors, flick the kettle on, and have a little chat about my dad, about my pop, and his final couple of weeks, because it was man, it's fucking shocking. Absolutely rough. It was rough, but I'll talk you through it. I'll share it with you, you know, because that's who I am. And go from there. So I've got a few videos to do without showing my address. I've got 2 heaters turned up, one portable camping heater apparently, and one not so portable camping heater. They've turned up for review, so I've got to review those. That'll probably be next week now. I was going to do it this morning, but I've had Mum come round because we're in the midst of planning. Come on, darling. Planning my dad's funeral. So I've been going through my dad's affairs, all that stuff, life insurances, policies, all that yummy stuff. And now sorting Mum's stuff out, because obviously she's on a jack now. So sorting out, you know, broadband insurance and that sort of caper, because you know, it's too expensive and it never stops, right? So let me flip the kettle on. We'll have a cup of coffee, and then yeah, I'll chat to you about my little dad and what's been going on there. So let the kettle boil. I'll come back to you in 2 seconds. Right, coffee is made. Let's have a sit down for a minute. Show you some bits and pieces that I've been doing for my dad, what have you. So, as some of you may know, in my last video I did about my old man, we were in the care home, and we were on respite, and that was 3 weeks, got extended by another 3 because they hadn't made the progress they would like with him, with the Dopham's team, who are a crisis management team with dementia specialist care nurses. They put him different medications to try and bring him round, mainly to try and stop the anxiety, stop the questioning, stop the fear, stop the scaredness and all that sort of stuff, just to try and chill him out. Which they were working very hard on. They put him on risperidone and bits and pieces, and clonazepam and all different types of bloody stuff. And they extended him for 3 weeks. which is not brilliant because Mum wanted him home, but literally he just couldn't come home in the condition he was in. The reason he was there was because of that. So turns out that there's a possibility my dad might have had a TIA at home, a miniature episode, and it may have been misdiagnosed as a absent seizure. Went into the care home, did 3 weeks, got extended, and it looks like then Dad took a massive dip, huge dip, which then later, a week later, that come back as when he had his pacemaker checked as an annual assessment. They said there was an episode just last week. Something different. Something different. So they think he might have had another TIA whilst in a care home, which was massively shocking for all of us, all concerned around him, because he lost the ability to walk, talk, feed himself, give himself fluids. He became double incontinent, and everything. So from going from trying to get out the care home to try and fight everyone, being an absolute knobhead, asking questions and all that sort of stuff, to not being able to do absolutely anything for himself. That's why he couldn't come home. But we were hoping that in time we could see some improvement from the TIA to get his ability of mobility back, able to feed himself, some help with incontinence. We were hoping to get about sort of anywhere between 60 to 80% back with the medication, which would have enabled him to come home, and for us to care for him at home in a reasonable environment. That was the idea, that was the plan, but that plan never happened. So the care home itself, the Burlington in Bognor Regis, fantastic place. It's not a care home that everyone would choose, definitely not. It's not a purpose-built care home. It's a home from home, 2 houses pushed together and made into a facility. Care is fantastic, management's fantastic. It never always used to be, apparently, but they've got new management in and they're turning it around, and yeah. Not saying no problems, because we were in there every day working with the care team and management team and nursing team and DOPMs and crisis team and paramedics and what have you, being called out all hours of day and night for Dad. Put a massive strain on the family, huge, massive strain. And that is what dementia does. It just literally exhausts all resources to the point where you become unfunctionable, pretty much. That's part of the journey. Some of it is funny, some of it is not funny. Some of it is funny today and not funny tomorrow. But that's what Alzheimer's dementia or dementia does. It strips a person of their identity. It strips the family of theirs, and it exhausts all your resources. That's what it does. So with Pop in his final days in the care home, they were having to feed him, give him fluids. His sats were dropping because he wasn't getting the fluids in. They had to bath him, brush his teeth, brush his hair, do all personal hygiene stuff. It was a really sorry state of affairs for an extremely independent, proud, and private man. You know, Dad was very private in that regard. But the care home kept his modesty, his dignity, and his pride. That was at the forefront of all their care. They made sure that he kept all of that to the best that they could. Unfortunately, I rolled out of bed on the Friday, I think after a night shift. I got out of bed Friday morning about 9:15. Just literally the phone rang as I rolled out of bed, and it was Karen, one of the assistant manager of the Burlington. She rang to say, "Are you awake? If so, can you come down? Dad is unresponsive. He's conscious, but he's unresponsive." So I said, "Yeah, I'll pop down. Let me grab a cup of coffee, put some pants on, brush my teeth, have a wee, and I'll pop down." And by the time I'd done most of that and come downstairs to flip the kettle on, Karen ran me back to say, "Are you on your way?" I said, "Yeah, just make a cup of coffee." She said, "Mick, come now." So I dropped everything, shot down the road, and it's 4 minutes from my house by car, and I got there in about 35 seconds. I pulled up outside of Burlington, and there was 3 ambulances outside, and I knew that all 3 were for my dad. So walked in, Karen was there with Anna. Anna just looked absolutely devastated. Karen looked distraught. Carers were just flying about left, right and centre, and I knew that was all for my old man. So, be careful here before I start booing. They wouldn't let me see Dad because there were 3 teams of paramedics in there working on him, getting him onto a bed. And by the time I got halfway down a corridor, he was making his way towards me. And they took him out of the care home and put him in the ambulance, and off we shot. So I went in my own car. Dad beat me there. He went via Blues and Twos. I got stuck in traffic lights outside the Pink Pub. Got to hospital. I alerted all my family members because I was the only one there. So I alerted everyone to say, yeah, you need to make your way to hospital. Things aren't good. And it turns out Dad had actually got pneumonia in the care home. Not their fault. Just a very low immune system, not taking his fluids on board and what have you, and yeah, he just got pneumonia. It's like a cold. It's what happens when you get a bit old and frail. So I got into resus, and they wouldn't let me see him again. I was on my own. Then my wife turned up, Mrs. P turned up. She was actually working at in the hospital that day, so she came across from the orthopaedic side with her boss. They were both crying, and we sat in the family consulting room. You know what that means, right? When you get stuck in that room, you know, that tiny box room with a box of tissues in the middle. You know pretty much what that means. So we sat there whilst other members of the family winged their way to us. I alerted my brother up in Lincolnshire, you need to come down because this is not good. So he made his way down, and eventually, once they stabilised him best they could, we went in, and I've got some pictures running here anyway of my dad in the background anyway, and we were able to sit with him by his bedside. He was conscious but not responsive, and that's when we had the chat about the do not resuscitate, and about Dad not being a candidate for intensive care because of a dementia. That's something I learned. If you've got dementia and you're in advanced stages, you're not a candidate for intensive care. It's futile to treat it, apparently, only because your Dad probably wouldn't have made it through the treatment. That's pretty much why. So they don't give you the opportunity. So because he wasn't a candidate for intensive care, we then had another chat about what we're doing, because having dementia ruins a body, because it doesn't allow the brain to talk to the rest of the body, send the right signals to the rest of the body to make it do things. And that's half the reason why having the TIA with dementia, why he became incontinent, why he couldn't walk, because the brain doesn't tell the body to do stuff, to get up, to push up, to move your legs, open your eyes, blink, chew your food and what have you. That's what a TIA does. But with that on top of dementia, that's why he lost all ability. So then it very quickly got round to talking about more end-of-life care and preserving dignity. So unfortunately, that was the end of the road. And what came next is horrific. Really bad. Because they weren't going to treat the pneumonia, because Dad didn't have the capacity to fight it. Not physically, but mentally. He couldn't fight it mentally. The brain would not tell the lungs, you need to flex, you need to pump, you need to work. Didn't have that ability. So we decided as a family that we would go down the morphine road, make him as comfortable as we can. And we sat and watched him for 36 hours, struggling to breathe and seeing out his days. Horrendous. Oh. Horrendous. So that's where we were up until a point where the family was exhausted over 36 hours, give or take, 24 hours, whatever it was. and we decided we'd start taking it in turns because, people needed to sleep. People were getting ratty and all the rest of it. So we decided to take it in 4-hour shifts. And me and Vince took the first night shift. In between James tour, Beth and Morgie, Mum coming in. My brother Roo came in just for a little while. And yeah, they all went home. Me and Vince stayed the night. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, 1 in the morning. Dad was wide awake, gasping and all that old crap. So I said to the nurse, give him some more morphine, which they did, and he went back to sleep again. And about 1:30, 2 o'clock, the breathing changed, and I called the family in, thinking it was the end. The nurse said it was, and it wasn't. Everyone came back in. He hung around until about, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 o'clock, I decided to go home, get some sleep. And 2 hours later, Vince rang me up to say he thinks he's passed. So I said, well, double check, mate, because it's important. And he hadn't quite yet passed when he was on the phone, so I hot dogged it back to the hospital. By the time I got there, he had passed, which is fantastic. I'm not worried about being by his side. I'd already had several chats with my dad throughout the 3 years about everything. And my conscience was clear that me not being there was not the end of the world. But it definitely, in spirit, I was there. So he passed away in my mum's arms with my brother Vince over watching, which was perfect because that's what Mum wanted. So they went off back home because they were knackered, devastated, and all the rest of it. And I stayed there whilst the doctor did his checks. I mean, I had to wait for the mortuary to turn up. That's another good job. If you want a list of good jobs, they're the good ones. So yeah, he passed away on the 20th of September at 5 p.m. exactly, which was 2 days after my mum's birthday, and 4 days before my sister's birthday. That'll ever go down in the books. So I went back home to Mum's, picked Mrs. P up here first, went back down to Mum's and just had a bit of family time. No one could say anything, no one could do anything, but it's just what it is. And then after doing all the ringing people up, letting them know what had happened and the legal stuff, we're now planning the funeral, which is another good job to have. So we've been planning funerals, we've had family meetings and picking coffins, and because my dad suffered with dementia, we've got these forget-me-nots. They're fake because they're out of season. They're a spring flower, but these are forget-me-nots, which is part of a dementia thing. And we're going to get these done by the flower shop into little tiny buttonholes, which we're going to leave on the coffin. Much of my address isn't showing on any of this stuff. And also insurance paperwork for Dad, which I've got to do for Mum. And then the funeral home do everything, but there's a cost to it. And my dad had his own insurance, but they wanted £80 for 20 order services. So I've done this myself, made it up myself, and got it all printed off with all the order of service, and on the back the little QR code, which I'll put up on here anyway for you guys. If you want to scan the QR code, you can just leave a kind message and thought. The donation site there, not worried about that, but there's a QR code coming up now. If you want to just leave a message on Dad's site, and on Dad's site there's photographs, there's videos and bits and pieces on there of happier times. So I've done the orders of services myself. We've chosen all the songs, and my dad's funeral is set for the 23rd of this month at our local crematorium. So that'll be his final journey. So yeah, it's kind of crap, but I'm happy, and I am happy. But I only say that because I'm not sad. I'm not sad that my dad's gone. I just miss him. That's all. Just miss him. Just no opportunity to go and see him again. No opportunity to have a laugh and a joke, or share a bit of carrot cake, or take the piss out of each other, or when he's bent over, put my finger up his bum, or just to make him jump. Just little things like that. Just all them funny things. And when he had dementia, he had a thing about work. Oh my God. And when he was at home, he was always on about money. He was very money orientated, as all men pretty much are. who's paying for that, how much that cost to me. And money for Dad was a huge thing, and work was a huge thing. So he used to say to my brother, "You got any work on?" "Yeah, I've got some washing up." And he's doing, "How much?" 50p an hour. "Well, I'll do it." "Yeah, I'll do it." And he used to come downstairs. I'd say to Mum, 50p an hour washing up. "Shall we have it?" "Yeah." Just little things. So he was always chasing his wallet. He could never find his wallet. And he used to not steal, but he used to hide money from Mum. Any cash, he'd hide it. And she's finding £20 notes here and £70 here and £20 here, and money turning up everywhere. So I decided, it'd be quite a good thing, is to get this money off of Amazon. Fake money. I've got about £3 grand here, and it's just £50 notes, which is it's just paper. That's all it is. It says copy on it, so you can't use it as legal tender. But these were things that I used to pay my dad for doing jobs. And have you got enough money for today? "Oh, I could do a few more," and give him like 30 quid. And he'd put it in his wallet and go for the washing machine. I'd give him another 20 quid somewhere. Or when he went into the care home, he'd pay for his meals, things like that. So if you've got someone with dementia and always worried about money, get the fake money. It's brilliant stuff. So that'll go in his coffin with him on his journey. I'm not upset or sad. I just miss my dad. That's all. I just miss him. As he nearly breaks into tears. But I think in some ways I'm happy, because dementia is just crap. It is just shit. Sorry for swearing, but it is. It's just crap. There's nothing good about it. But as his youngest son, I believe I was at the forefront of most of the stuff, and I had a good support network around me. Mrs. P, my brother-in-law James, my sister, and of course my mum. But I think I was at the forefront of all the crap stuff, all the stuff that was a bit shit. And I questioned myself several times since his passing. Have I done enough? Did I do enough? What else could I have done? I think we all do that anyway. In anything in life, we always question our own ability, and I think I did enough. I think I'd done enough. I tried my hardest. I kicked for as long as I could. Tried to get every resource in at the right time when it needed to be in, and when it wasn't available, I asked a question and I pushed until it was. And I upset many people going along my journey, of which I'll probably have to send apology emails later on. But I think I did do enough, because I was with him, if not every day, every other day, or multiple times a day, in between my sister, Mrs. P, James E, Beth and Morgie, and my mum going in between in the care home and talking to people and having assessments done, all that sort of stuff. I think I did enough. I tried my hardest. So at the moment, I'm grieving, this is something new to me. I've never ever grieved like this before. It comes in waves, and it doesn't always give you any warning. So the other week I was cutting my grass, and I had my headphones on, listening to Irish music, because Irish music, I love Irish music, proper Irish music, not your Danny O'Donnell crap. I like proper Irish music. And me and my dad, that was a fond thing we shared. We loved our Irish music. And I was cutting my grass, my headphones on, and this Irish song come on, and the lawnmower was just thrown across the lawn. I was just in a big pile of snot, crying and all the rest of it, just crap. So it doesn't even let me know when it's going to happen, which is kind of nice, but only happens for about half a minute, and then I pull myself together. So I'm grieving really badly, but I'm actually quite happy that my dad is no longer suffering. He's not in pain. He's not scared. He's not anxious. He's not asking for help. He's not, any of that stuff. And we didn't even get to the good stuff. Apparently it gets worse. So we were quite lucky in that respect, although the journey was absolutely horrific. There were some fantastic moments within it. But there were some shockingly bad ones too, especially at 11:30 at night or 6:30 in the morning. But Alzheimer's dementia has tested me, and it's tested my family. And I think we won. Because we gave our dad everything he needed at the time, right up until the point where he couldn't go anymore. So yeah, don't stop fighting. Keep going. and fight for what you believe. It's always going to be a fight. You're going to lose. You're not going to win this fight. You're not going to win it. You're always going to lose. But the only way you can beat it is to not give up. If that makes sense. You're going to lose anyway, but just don't give up. Keep kicking. So yeah, that's my video. My dad's gone. He passed away. I'm not sad. I just miss my dad. I miss him a lot. Really a lot. But I'm also glad he's not suffering anymore. I have some visions in my head which will never ever leave me. Never. They're in my head for the rest of my life, and I can't get rid of them. So I'm just going to file them away somewhere where no one else can see them and lock that cabinet up for a little while. But I have some fantastic memories. Not just a dementia journey, but my entire life with my dad. Very lucky. And I've also got some YouTube videos, which I will be releasing of just like my last Father's Day, last Dad's birthday, just for my own family memories. Just going to put them up on YouTube, leave them on there. You can watch them if you like. I might just turn the comments off, I don't know, but we'll see. They're mainly for my family, just to watch. So that way they'll be on there forever. But I will be back at some point. I've got a few videos to do. I do feel a bit more better about it. So yeah, I'm just going to take my time. But I think that having my friends around me, and that's you girls and guys too, having my friends around me does help. It does help. Being just sat indoors on my own doesn't do me any favours. Being down the shed, doing videos, taking the piss and what have you, is what I'm good at. And it makes me laugh. And the comments that I receive from you girls and guys also makes me laugh sometimes. My small engine community have been fantastic around me. My work community have been fantastic around me, and my friends have been fantastic too. So yeah, that's that. End of an era. But they do say the apple don't fall far from the tree. Apparently I sound and I act just like my old man. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But so I do have lots of people that say, my God, you're just like your dad. So that's good. So in his memory, I can keep his life going on by just being me. Don't let the bastards knock you down. You know what I mean? Don't let them kick you back. Keep going. So that's where we are. Funeral planning next. Then a little Irish wake, and then the family can start to heal. Because we are healing already, and the family's never been closer. But we've got a little bit more of a journey to go yet, just till we put my dad to rest. But that's all coming together. At last, all the crap jobs have nearly stopped coming in. All the crap jobs. And it'd be nice just to have some normal jobs for once. But anyway, that's my video. That's where we are. That's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. Alzheimer's, dementia. You can poke it. You can stick it, because it's absolutely shocking. Shocking. But they often say God will never put anything on your shoulders that you cannot deal with. That's what they say. What I will say is he was pushing his freaking luck that time, because it nearly broke me. But I do now have time to heal. So there you go. There's my video. I've got some more videos coming out soon. I've got some Amazon wishlist stuff. It's in a box in the conservatory. I've not even opened it. Had no inkling to open it, but I will be back very soon, doing what I do best, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch all you girls and guys later on another episode of Micks Mowers and Mower Man very soon. Until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.